Alright folks, here we are for game number 3 of the best of 3 series between mouzHasu and lalush, and this is from the Viking Cup number 20, round 7. And mouzHasu is responding to lalush's comment during game 2, where lalush is upset that he was on, the map was Kulas Ravine, and he was upset about how mouzHasu abused the terrain and kind of planned his strategy around that. And Kulas Ravine is already a pretty heated map in terms of player opinions. So that's pretty much the backstory on this. Like I said, this is from Viking Cup number 20, round of 7. So whoever wins this will go on to play in the finals, and whoever wins the finals will receive 50 euros and a ticket to the DreamHack Winter 2010, as well as a wildcard entry to the Starcraft 2 tournament there. So gives the winner of this tournament the chance to show his stuff to a bigger population of computer fans. As we do get this game off to a start here, do have a pylon at the top of the ramp. Can expect to see some buildings going on over here, as a wall off is fairly typical against Zerg players. And these guys are continuing to talk about that, man. Yeah, I tell you what, lalush was pretty upset last game. Left without a GG or anything. Just a quick comment about the map. Over here we do have a probe hanging out at the expansion. So far the first two games we have seen pretty quick expansions from the Zerg player, so it's pretty understandable that the Protoss is keeping his probe right here, not dropping a pylon until he actually sees the drone, but still keeping it there nonetheless. Meanwhile, Overlord kind of hanging out over here at the top of the ramp, just checking on what the Protoss is doing. You can see he does have his gas going down after his gateway. So it's looking like we're going to see probably a pretty similar build from the first two games. I don't know though, because I think that last game's build was probably a little bit map specific. I don't know. I'm not mouzHasu. I don't know exactly what he's thinking, but it certainly worked out well for him, as the pylon has now gone down, and we are seeing the same exact response that we did in game 1 on Desert Oasis, where a pylon was dropped at the expansion. Two drones came out to deal with it. You can see shields are just about complete, and the overlords are hanging out all over the base. Now, this is actually due to the fact that this is a very small map in terms of aerial rush distance. The Zerg can just get overlords in your base. You can see the flight distance. You can almost put the bases on one screen at the same time. So that's how short the area rush distance is. And looking at Protoss base, second geyser has been claimed. Second pylon going down here, and cybernetics core has been completed. Can expect to see warp gate technology coming fairly soon if the previous games are any indication. Sure enough, there they go right there, as a zealot is chrono boosted out. Gotta make sure you can get those units out really quickly to block off this wall, as we see right here, probe is coming down to drop a second gateway. That will leave this position right here as the only land entrance to the base, and the zealot is getting ready to hang out right there and block off exactly that. Meanwhile, the pylon has been destroyed, and the expansion has gone down. You can see that's about 33% complete thereabouts. And the Zerg player is macroing up right now. You can see he's just continuing to make drones. Probably expect to see a drone transfer here in the near future once that expansion has been completed. A couple Zerg units hanging out down here, 4 Zerglings just chilling. They know they can't get into their base. There's really no way, as this zealot would just tear through them, combined with the fact that there is now a sentry here who popped off the Zerglings, which were on a hold position, as you could tell. They're just staying just out of range of the sentry, but close enough so that way they can keep an eye on what's going on. So you can actually see the vision here. You can see the top 3 buildings. But he is continuing to get his expansion up, and his queen is hanging out in position, ready right now to drop some eggs on the hatchery as soon as it's completed. And second queen's still hanging out up here, getting ready to inject some more larvae. There it goes, as the second geyser has been claimed. Roach warren going down, so we can expect to see some roaches here in the very near future. Probably not going to see anything else gas-wise for a little while, as like I said, he's just now claiming his geyser it's popped as just as the hatchery is about 50% done turning into a lair. So won't have a ton of gas going into that, but the Zerglings are now running away as the Protoss moves out of his base. He has 3 sentries now and 1 zealot. That's definitely plenty to throw down some force fields and prevent any sort of Zergling run-by. Looking over here, he has a gateway hanging out right here, and you can see he's rallied to his units, so that way whenever any units that were done before the gateway, the warp gate technology were completed, they would warp in immediately there and run to there. But for now, these sentries are moving into position, zapping and shooting, trying to knock off this overlord. And I think they're going to do it. Yes, they are. So that overlord is gone. Let's actually look over here and let's take a look at the supply. You can see he is now supply blocked as a result, but he has 2 more overlords are on the way. So that'll kind of negate that. But for a moment there, he was supply blocked. And looking over here, we can see that the expansion is sitting pretty good right now. He has some drones getting ready to head into the gas. Let's actually look at the income real quick while these players continue to build up. We can see right now 35 to 29 harvesters, about 1,000 per minute for lalush, and you can see down here for Hasu, he is sitting at about 760, 800, fluctuating thereabouts. Of course, one more gas geyser here has been claimed by the Zerg player, so that explains that gas discrepancy. 35 to 31 now. Let's look at units lost just for the fun of it right now as we watch a huge probe transfer come down here. 4 to 2, 175 to 150. Looking at the army side, as you can see, it's 60 to 49. That sure shot up quick. And yeah, it's 68 limit for both players at this point in time. You can see, obviously, Hasu has a lot more invested because of the a lot more gas invested because of the sentries, as he does continue to warp in the units just outside of his natural. While the roaches are starting to knock off the rocks, the Zerg is really looking to make a mid-game push here in the very near future, as he has a lot of roaches here coming in, reinforcing this rock attack. And you can see the overlords are pretty well spaced out all along this area right here, and we can see another one on the way right here. You can probably expect that to go right there, and one right here, and probably, given the trajectory, probably right around here. So you can definitely tell that lalush is getting into position to make a strong push. And the Protoss forces know this. We might see some force fields down here to try to delay this attack. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, the roaches will still be able to do some damage to these rocks, but there's a great sandwiching right there, allowing these sentries to do some damage without taking damage themselves, but that Stalker got in just close enough, allowing that front line of roaches to do some damage. Rocks are going to go down, I think, as there is the burrow finally. That is certainly going to help out the Zerg player a lot as he continues to have to deal with these force fields in place. But they are now gone, so the rocks will finally go down. Still sitting at 0-0 across the for the Zerg. But we can see Weapons 1 is just about complete for the Protoss player. As force fields go down, this is only a temporary barrier though, so he is going to have to get a lot of units very quickly. Robotics facility is going down, so definitely Immortals would be a great thing here. More force fields going down, preventing some of the units, but already some of the Zerglings have gotten in, and the Zerg is able to get a good surround on the Zealots here. You can actually see he's sandwiched the Zealot, or he's split up the Protoss forces, forcing the Zealots over on the far left, and the Stalkers to retreat to the right, over where the cannons are. Roach is getting an extra shot or two off on the forge before retreating back, trying to get a little bit more in terms of their numbers, forcing the Protoss back up into his base now, though. So this is probably not the position the Protoss wants to be in, as right now he's still working on getting his economy going, and doesn't really have too many probes here. You can see he's sitting on about 12 right at this point in time. Definitely needs a lot more, but the Zerg is in a great position. You can see right now he's got 15 and a robot, so that'll definitely help out there, as the Zerg continues to hang out in the front of the base, trying to knock off these rocks while keeping the Protoss on the defensive. There are a lot of Zerglings here, and if they were able to get into a good position, and by that I mean dodge the Zealots, they will be able to do a ton of damage, by both directly and indirectly. Directly by obviously doing damage themselves, and indirectly by getting behind the Stalkers and forcing the Protoss to stand there and engage the Roaches, which is exactly what the Zerg wants. Right now he's sitting in a great position, and there goes the forge right there, so we will not see any more upgrades or cannons for the moment. But right now we are seeing there are more Roaches coming here trying to press these forces away, doing a very good job of keeping the Protoss on the defensive. There are Immortals coming, and he's using this time to throw down more buildings down here, which he thinks is more defended, but as you can see with this pylon, the Roaches are once again trying to make a break, or make a run at the expansion through the destructible debris, and I think right now they're going to be able to do that, because there goes the debris right there, and here comes more Zerg reinforcements. Oh, we're going to have a sandwich attack here, taking the flank. Nope, opting instead to just make a full-on attack at the pylon here, knocking out these two cannons, and I'll tell you what, this is definitely not looking good for the Protosses. Here comes more Zerglings getting ready to run in here. Maybe try to cut off some of these units. I don't know, as this 1-4 Zealot goes down rather quickly. The Zerg continuing to be very aggressive, trying to take out the Cybernetics Core. If that goes down, there will not be any more Stalkers, and this will be very, very hard for the Protoss to come back from. There he goes, right there. So the Zerg player is sitting in a fantastic position. Look at that spread, able to get all of the units right there up the top of the ramp, all the way down to the bottom, and force the Protoss back and get some more shots while using these Zerglings to get some free kills here. He is reinforcing even more. You can see the roaches are kind of badly damaged, so he's pulling back just for a minute or two, try to get some more reinforcements. These Zerglings are exactly what he needs right now to combat the high quantity of Stalkers. There are a couple of Zealots in there. Unfortunately, they did not live very long as Zerg continues to push the Protoss back. There goes this robotics facility. Is going to be gone super quick. There it goes right there, and the Zerg player is retreating and trying to come up into the base once more. Probably try to get these Zerglings to do a run by, I don't know. But the Protoss once again forcing the Zerg to engage it, to deal with it, and you can see that right now there's just a steady stream of Zerglings coming in. More roaches are on the way though. You can see right now 6 of them just popped, and 6 more are on the way. And this expansion is definitely not looking too good right here. This Immortal is just about dead. 13 hit points as the probes do come off and try to make a wall for this Immortal to get some free kills. Unfortunately, the probes are not meant for defense as they go down really quickly. Once again, the Zerg reinforcing even more with the roaches. Protoss units warping in, but I just don't think it's going to be enough at this point. As you can tell, he's desperate because of the fact that he's using his probes still in his army. Look at the shields. A lot of the Protoss forces are sitting at half health or less with no shields. More Zealots are warping in, and that's just not the unit he really needs right now. He does not have the speed upgrade for the Zealots. So there is the grats from mouzHasu, allowing lalush to take the victory in the best of 3 series and letting him move on to the finals and have a shot at that DreamHack 2010 ticket. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Friday edition of Anaris Starcraft, and make sure you watch my videos over at SK Gaming as well, as I will also have some of the Viking Cup videos over there as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.